Now, the other day I came on here to express that I was annoyed about something to do with Karate Kid Legends. Since then, I've seen the film, and I'm back to tell you I'm still annoyed. If you want to know what's irritating Retro Man, stick around for more. G'day viewers, Retro Man here and welcome to the show. Now, this film clocks in at just over 90 minutes, which makes it one of the shortest films in the Karate Kid franchise. And when I found out that it had such a crisp running time, I really did get a little bit worried. But when you sit down and watch this film, one of the plus points in some ways is that it just moves so fast that you just don't get to blink. It is over before you know it, and it does its job. It's a good movie in essence because it moves fast, it's furious, no pun intended, but it is. It's fast, it's furious, and it has some fun action sequences. The performances are pretty good, and it will hold your attention to the end. And when you go to see a movie, if it delivers the sledgehammer blow, that action, that excitement, and it has you pumped pretty much the whole way, the film delivers. It's a good film. Now, I do have some gripes with it, and this is where the annoyance seeps in, if you will. I just have to say it, I'll be honest, I am still annoyed with this whole Karate Kid Legends thing. And what I mean by that is that if you saw my other video, you would know that my gripe is they didn't sync the release dates globally for this film. Now, because the Karate Kid franchise has over 40 years, of broth that's bubbling, there are a lot of people that want to see this movie. And if you just stagnate those release dates and you put it out there in one territory and one territory basically rips it apart, the other territories that are excited and have this film on their must-see list, they're starting to wonder what's going on here. Their enthusiasm kind of dips down. And I think that really blew things for this movie. I think they should have released it globally at the same time, and then people would have been able to make a choice. Do I buy a ticket because I love this franchise, or will I stay away? And in the end, I really know this firsthand. There are some fans out there, and big fans, that have fallen for the bait, and they've gone, hang on a minute, there's people in a different part of the world that are telling me to stream this. My enthusiasm has dropped down to nil now, and I'm just going to let this film float away and not experience it on the big screen. Well, you shouldn't have listened to those people, and I'll tell you why. Because this is a good film. In essence, it has all the qualities of a good film. In fact, everything that I saw on the screen was very pleasing. And when I say that, it moved so fast and it was just so enjoyable that I didn't have to think about this film's flaws until I stepped out of the cinema and realised one little thing. I wanted more. So this is back to the running time, guys. This film is just over 90 minutes, and I think they kind of shortchanged us. And this is where I'm annoyed again, is that this film really needed to be 2 hours. I think that it needed to have a bigger, grander cinematic quality. And when I say that, remember when you went in to see that 84 film back in the day, for those of you that are the old school fans, you really felt that you got to know these characters so well. You really got to know Daniel LaRusso. This was like a first-person movie. He was in almost every frame of the film, and you really got to understand this character, and you loved that relationship between Daniel and Miyagi. It really was a magic moment. Now, Daniel does come back Chan does come back, and we're introduced to this guy, Ben Wang. He does his bit. He's an interesting character. But do we know him as well as Daniel at the end of this journey? Do we feel for him in the same way? No. And that's sad, because really, he's doing well. He's performing well in those action scenes. His performance is pretty good. But the character, we just don't feel the same way about. We don't have that emotional connection, that pull, that understanding like we did when we saw the films with Daniel. So it just misses that emotional punch because it doesn't explore the character in a greater depth. So I don't usually have a gripe with running time, but when it comes to this movie, it really did come in at a crisp, 90 minutes or so, and it was almost too fast and too skillful in a way for its own good. I know I'm old school. This is the TikTok generation, and they want things flat out. But for this movie to really feel like a movie, it needed to run a bit longer and explore some greater themes. And once it hits that ending, when the 5 Boroughs tournament kicks in, and Ben Wang is performing in that, and he is going well in the tournament, and he's getting that little extra bit of tuition, if you will, by Chan and Daniel. It's great, but it's just too fast. If they had slowed things down and they had have got those training moments to have a little bit more emotional punch, a little bit more construct, this film would have really sat up there with the 84 movie as something special. So anyway, there is another gripe I have, another annoying factor, is that Daniel LaRusso comes into this film a little bit too late. Now, we're looking at a 90-minute movie, and I didn't check my watch, but he came in, I think, at about 50 minutes into the film. And I think that's a little bit too late. I think they dropped the ball there. I think they should have changed the script slightly to accommodate his entrance at maybe the 20-minute mark, and they should have handled things a little bit different. It kind of feels that Daniel comes in too late as an afterthought. So that's what I mean about the running time again. If he had came in earlier with a little scene, and they should have built his character up a bit before he finally trains Ben at the end with Jackie, that would have given it a more cinematic feel, and it really would have made us care a little bit more. So I don't know what the story is there. Maybe they kind of rushed this project a little bit. Daniel had a lot on his plate. Ralph Macchio was kind of wrapping things up with Cobra-Kai at the time. He was putting the finishing touches on season 6 of that, and he was probably in 2 headspaces. He's trying to get that project done. Karate Kid Legends is, really underway, and he had to commit to 2 projects. Maybe if they had have allowed 6 months or so to transpire, and they had worked on Daniel's impact a bit more in this film, we might have got a more full result. But anyway, Daniel's in there, he does his bit, but I wanted more, and I think a lot of people wanted more Daniel. And on a personal note, I did take my son to see this film, and he was asking throughout, when's Daniel coming in? I'm waiting to see Daniel. So the anticipation to see Ralph Macchio was high, and it just took a bit too long. When he's there, it's great, but they could have given us a bit more, and they certainly could have given him some more pivotal lines at the end to make him really become Miyagi, if you will, and make it a full 360. So, we wanted more. A good movie, but we wanted more. That's really my annoyance with this. aside from people ruining the film and keeping people away from seeing it with that dodgy release date. So at the end of the day, Karate Kid Legends is a good family film. You know, there's a lot of action in there. It could be a little bit intense for some kids, but I think it works for the generation that's out there now because the action is good, the performances are cool, and I just think it doesn't give you time to think. You don't really think about the negatives, you just go along for the ride. And sometimes, in a way, you know, you need to do that, and you can get nitpicky after the fact. And it's a good movie, not a great movie, and I urge you, if you're a Karate Kid fan, don't be swayed. Go out and experience this film for yourself. It's worth a ticket, it's worth the ride, and you will have a lot of fun. So there we have it. The Karate Kid Legends film was cool. I hope the box office and these release dates, you know, I hope it didn't sink things to the point of no sequel, because I think they would learn a lesson here. I think Sony would realise next time, out of the starting gates, let's develop the Chan and LaRusso characters a bit more, and if we get that right and we spend a bit more time with the lead and develop him and build him up even more, they'll have a winner second time around. So Karate Kid Legends, let's hope it's not the end. Get out and support this film. It's a heck of a lot of fun, and you will see me again very soon. So as always, like, comment and subscribe. It's been an absolute pleasure, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're alerted for my next episode. Until next time, this is Retro Man, living the dream, retro style. Stay gold.
Thanks for watching. Retro Man will return faster than a boomerang. But in the meantime, please check out these other episodes.